Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another match reaction. Sevilla 4, Barcelona 1. That is not a result that I was expecting. Barcelona having, I would say, the worst performance under Hansi Flick's tenure against Sevilla. Let's talk about it, guys. It was absolutely atrocious. But before I do, if you guys do want to join and give your thoughts about the match, feel free. I have posted a link on X and on the post section under YouTube. So you guys do want to talk about and join, feel free, because this is going to be more of like a therapy session, because we're going to be analyzing the match and everything, but honestly, what is there to do? It's just an atrocious Barcelona performance, and it's just so you say, what the fuck was this? What did we just witness? We're going to be talking about it. But there was already controversy in regards to Hansi Flick's lineup, just from the get-go. Even before a ball was passed, before anything was played, there's some controversy on how the lineup was going to be. Szczesny in goal, who I thought kept Barcelona in the match. Sevilla in that first half had chance after chance after chance after chance. Szczesny keeping us in. Later on for the third goal, he was at fault for that, and you're thinking, man, you should have done much better. But you can't blame him. He did as much as possible. The entirety of the back line was a mess. A mess. The high line just wasn't there, caught off guard time and time again. Gerard Martin, Cubarsí, Romero, and Jules Koundé started. In the midfield, you had Pedri and Frankie de Jong. Up top, you had Ferran, Daniel Olmo, Marcus Rashford, and Robert Lewandowski. You had those players basically do nothing throughout the match. They were not effective. They were not great at combining. In that first half, guys, if you guys haven't seen the match, I don't know how to describe it, but Barcelona, they weren't at it whatsoever. We weren't creating chances. Sevilla were just creating chance after chance after chance. And this started in the 10th minute. Romero committing a stupid foul. Now, I'm not against the referee calling this decision against Barcelona, because it's completely understandable, but I'm frustrated at Araujo. Why are you giving the referee the opportunity to be in this situation? Barcelona unable to come up from the press from Sevilla in those opening couple of minutes. And when you look at the replay, it's understandable. Araujo, he puts his leg right there, the player trips. It's a soft penalty. I wouldn't have given it. But then again, you understand how trash the referees are in La Liga. You understand, how much they want to
Also,
harm us. So,
also,
okay,
what is
welcome.
this? Yeah, what is this defending from Araujo every time, man? Instead of clearing the ball or touching the ball, he keeps touching the player instead of ball. He's putting both of his hand on players. He put on the hand on Barcola. He was holding on Acerbi. He's doing the same thing again and again. Instead of taking the ball or touching the ball, he's touching the opposition
The
player every
player.
time. I don't get
Yeah.
it. Is this how it is the defending in South America? I don't know.
Araujo is just he's not, and what's crazy is because
You know he
I,
these are there is a category for this kind of players. Upamecano does this, Konate does
yeah,
this, Araujo does this. These
yeah.
bozo defending players just bozo jeans never leaves them.
I completely agree, but here's the thing. I do not want to scapegoat any particular player tonight, because this was not, one player doing bad and it's
It's
caused us
everybody.
yeah, it's everybody. This is a collective not performing on the day. That's where I want to target, because of course we can talk about Rajo for being at fault for the
Yeah,
first goal. We can talk about, Rooney
Olmo,
Bardghji. We can talk about Olmo not showing up, disappearing.
Chesney,
Szczesny for the third goal. Szczesny for the third goal. We could talk about Robert Lewandowski missing the penalty.
Kubarsi, not,
Who
and
are,
that
but that's the
guy is
point.
that Spanish Elmo.
Spanish Elmo. But the point is, overall, collectively, Barcelona, they were not at it tonight. It was just
yeah,
simple as that. And that's where I want to put the main focus, because we can talk about individuals, but we are going to be talking about. But I want to talk about the collective as a whole, because time and time again we had chances like this happening where Sevilla were countering Barcelona in behind. You had this chance right here a couple seconds earlier where thankfully Isaac, thankfully these are not world class finishers, because if not, we'd be looking in that first half looking to concede 3 to 4 goals
Isaac
in the opening
Romero.
30 minutes. It's it's simple as that. Chance after chance. I'm showing you guys the images right here. Lack of intensity from Jules Koundé. Dispossess. Hit on the counter.
You had the
Alexis
same.
Sanchez causing us problems. Alexis Sanchez in 2025
Yeah, but
causing us
he's still
problems.
good, bro. Come on now.
Now, but I mean, but NJ, you're gonna be telling me that this is peak Alexis Sanchez from a decade ago.
No, not really,
But
but
Yeah.
our our players today played like they are only 60 years old. So
Oh.
it is going to be good for Alexis Sanchez because they have no intensity, nothing.
Uh huh.
yeah, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be a long season, bro. If we're gonna keep playing that game all the time, like
Okay. Okay, and just
Yo,
to make
I
it
was
worse,
listening.
what
Yeah, I was
what is
listening
it?
to Hokage Fukuya on the Have Hope, and he was saying that second season of Hansi Flick is very spooky.
Very spooky. Well, we're gonna be talking about that because I want to gear my narrative, but first I want to go over like the key aspects of the play and everything. But Barcelona in that first half, we're getting battered and everything. Marcus Rashford turns up, and he's been our best performer so far,
yeah,
our best attacker throughout this season. I
yeah, for
would say,
sure.
he's been involved in every single match, and really really pivotal. And you see Marcus Rashford pull one
Yeah,
back,
And he's injured.
and he's
Last game,
injured. Look at this right here.
yeah. I think
good timing.
I just hope it's a minor injury, so he can miss the international break and then come back.
I pray because having Rashford injured, having Lamine Yamal injured, Rafinha
Rafinha.
injured, Fermin, Gavi, Joan Garcia, the injuries are piling up. That's absolutely atrocious. But and then the second half, we had chances to equalize the score. Robert Lewandowski, he had a penalty right here. He misses, just not our day. Rim
Yeah,
Bardghji has another chance before they go on, and he isn't able to score it. But
he had like two chances, right?
yeah, we missed two chances.
No, from Rooney though. He had two chances, right, to
Yeah, it was
score.
this one right here.
Yeah, Rooney
It was
had two
this.
chances.
It was
Yeah.
this one right here. Letting Inigo Martinez go was the worst mistake we made.
No,
See, the thing
the
was,
mistake was that they were so bad at
Signing no
selling
replacement.
players. They were bad at selling players, and they didn't like get rid of the players right away as soon as possible.
okay,
They like dragged it off all summer.
okay,
That was the
You
issue.
know, just like we added depth in attack with Rashford, we should have done with same in centre back position and in full back position. We didn't do it.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. Here's where I want to take the conversation because I was talking about the collective not being at it tonight.
yeah,
That's where I want to have the main conversation, and I want to be looking at this from a macro perspective because Barcelona, we were awful today. We can talk about
yeah.
the individuals, we can talk about specific performance today, but when we looking at this from a grand picture, I'm looking at this
The
loss and I'm thinking, where was the intensity? Where
yeah,
was the press?
intensity, the defense. Where were they when they were trying to like
Exactly.
the offside trap? They weren't like tracking their players correctly, and
Mm-hmm.
when they had the chances to score, they couldn't finish the food right away, and the midfield was not really a non-existence as well, because this is a games where like we had to like rely on them to like actually like break the lines, but they couldn't do it as well. So everybody was just like downhill or going south at this point during the game.
Okay. Sike, why do you think that Barcelona played so poorly in this game and in the game against PSG? Particularly in that second half. Do you think
Mm.
like
Yeah,
what's your reaction to these two defeats? Because I think these two
yeah,
defeats right here are compounded. They're pretty much the same sensation. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I would say, the difference from last season and this season is that most of the teams in La Liga have figured out how we play. If you look at it today also, they exactly played like PSG, most of the times. The teams were trying to do this last season, but it didn't work out. But this season, they know how to play against us, and they are doing the same again and again. Last season, we were blowing the teams out of the water, but this season the matches are very close. Most of the times we have come back from when we are losing, we have come back. And other matches also have been close. There has been no blowout. Most of the matches, even Real Sociedad match, it was 2-1. PSG also 2-1. Today also we got blown out. So in this kind of a matches, team has to put out the energy for entirety of the 90 minutes. We cannot rest or rotate the players because we have to win game. Look at Pedri. He played 90 minutes against Sociedad, almost 90 minutes against PSG. Today again 90 minutes. So there is no time to rest. If we are playing matches too close to the wire, we have to blow out the opponent in order to get rest. And we don't have depth, so there is no energy in the team,
Yeah,
no power.
adding what second, like I feel like them having the high press intensity right away, it they gassed them out, and that in the difference between PSG game was that the second half, like Enrique, made a game change plan, like to protect Nuno Mendes, and that's why they were able to outplay Barcelona in the second half later on. Then with Sevilla, like knowing that it wasn't working very well, like Flick didn't adjust a little bit just to I'm not saying like sub players out. It's just that like that Sevilla was just parking the bus and waiting for the opportunity, and the problem was that some of the players didn't back too early, and then that's why they were able to get beaten so quickly in the counter, and that I felt like also like the chances and stuff like that didn't come, and that I felt like there were times where they lost focus during the game, and that they were just like trying to
Okay.
survive as much as they can.
Okay. See. I NJ, I want to know your thoughts on this because I'm looking at like the timeline. I'm looking at the reaction from social media, and
Yeah.
one of the differences that is true that I have been noticing is that in the games that we've lost, in the games
Hmm.
against PSG and the game against Sevilla, this game, we've been outplayed.
Yeah.
We've been outplayed. The performance wasn't there. Last season, when Barcelona, we dropped points, we were by far the better team. It was, hey,
Yeah.
we're not clinical enough. In the game against Leganes, in the game against Atletico Madrid, you remember the chances that Lewandowski had,
Hmm.
missing point blank, chance after chance after chance. We're creating so much,
Yeah.
you know. But in these
Yeah,
games,
but
we're getting
Ilyas,
outplayed.
yeah, I would say even if we are getting outplayed, even in today's game, we had a minimum chances to at least draw the game, if not win the game.
Precisely,
But still,
you know.
even at our worst, we are creating chances to win or draw the game, but we are still not being clinical. What can we have again? That's why I would say that blame lies to board for not signing depth. Hansi
Yeah.
Flick to
Yeah. And also,
continuously not rotating, all this, and also players because they are not finishing their chances,
Yeah.
including
yeah.
Lewandowski and Rooney.
And also because of that, again, also you're right. Like last year, they were balling back again. The difference this year is that the players who were backing up the players got higher, bigger roles now, right? So they're adjusting on how to manage that kind of role now. Because again, some of them were just like pure bench players who were coming from the impact, but this year they got a higher role now, right? So they, I feel like adding that new role, I feel like it like added more responsibility, which they can do it, but I feel like they needed more time to adapt that responsibility more. That's the reason why. Again, come on, you playing in Eagle most of the time last year, but now that Arao is here, Arao, as good as Arao is, he still needs time to adapt. But again, time's ticking for him as well, right? And
Yeah.
Kobarsi, like as good as Kobarsi is good as Kobarsi, you're seeing he's making simple mistakes as well. But there are many times where you have to bench him just to refocus and just play Christmas in at least 2 games just to to make Kobarsi hungry again. Because again,
Oh,
I feel like I'm not saying that he's gonna be the same player, but the same thing happened to Common Long Lane. Long Lane when he came, he was a good backup. Then he was overplayed.
okay.
Then his confidence once went
See,
downhill. I'm not saying
see,
it's gonna be Kong Lei. I'm not saying it's gonna be
See,
Kong Lei.
see, see, no, see, but NJ, I think that's just a result from, I don't think that's the core problem this team is having. No, I don't think it necessarily it's the individuals not performing because yes, Kouarsi he hasn't been at his best, and I completely agree with you there. But I think the core problem is that Hansi Flick hasn't received the reinforcements needed
Yeah,
to improve
that
this
that, that
team.
as well. Yeah,
That I think that is the core problem that this team is having. When you look at how good Barcelona was last season, you know
yeah,
we Hansi Flick in the 2 seasons that he's been here has only received
Also,
3 signings. He's
yeah.
received
also
Got
one
guys,
loan.
Olmo.
in
To be
Marcus Rashford,
to be
a
And
3 minute.
Garcia.
Oh,
yeah, to be
so okay.
honest, also, yeah, yeah, go on.
No, no, it was Marcus Rashford on a loan. Who he's been
Yeah.
fantastic, but it's a loan. You had Rooney Bardghji for 3 million euros, and you have Joan Garcia. Joan Garcia. You could throw Danny Olmo in there as well.
Yeah.
But four signings, really, one of them being a loan. That's not
Eric
It's
enough.
Garcia
enough.
is
It's
also
not.
back from
It's not.
Girona.
It's not enough yet. Still, because again, if you want Flick to like copy the Bayern way of what he did, then you need to get the players that he needs. Because again, like as good as our La Masia kids are, they're not ready, fully ready yet, man. Like, some of them needs time to like adapt, bro. Like you can't always rely on La Masia all the time. Yes, it's good to have them, but you need to mix them with experience, man. Like, bro, like
Seke, what did you want to say?
Yeah, I somewhat agree with you, but again, if not for injuries, I think this squad is good enough to compete in all competition, just like they did last season. I don't
okay, like
see
I
the
agree.
difference
You're
from
right. You're
last
right.
season's squad and this season's squad. If
You're
not
right,
for
second.
injuries,
You're
because
right.
last
But
season
again,
we had we didn't have so many injuries. I would say in the early part of the season.
you're right that we can compete. But again, you know that in any sports during the latter stage of the season, people will get hurt, and that's the difference. Because again, when you compare to Inter had the squad even though they were doing that while we were stagnated with injuries. So that's why I agree with Elias saying like like they did not give
Yeah.
Flick the players that he needs this
No, but
season.
also one of the things that happened last season is we never had both of them, Mean and Rafinha, out injured.
Exactly.
We never had them both out injured. Danny Olmo, when he was playing well. We never had uh Balde
Casado,
and
Pedri, and Frankie also were
yeah,
fit the entirety of the season.
precisely. Our key players, they were fit for basically the entirety of the season. That hasn't been the case so far. We've had big injuries. Balde injured at the start of the season. We've had Lamine Yamal injured at the start of the season. Rafinha injured at the start of the season.
That's why
You know,
we need a
and
left
and,
winger, a left back, man.
and so
Like
I'm
Davi,
thinking like
John Garcia.
precisely. I completely agree with you. Like if our players if everyone was fit, I think we can compete.
yeah, we
But the,
can, but
but but the
but we're
thing
not
is
we're
that
not
we
able to
don't
fully win all.
injuries are going to happen. These players are not
Exactly.
going to be available for every single match, and so that's where I look at it and I say, hey, that's where the Barcelona they're struggling. And I look at Joan Laporta and I say, guys, we have to do better. We have to be way better. We have to, get this club to the point where we don't let Inigo Martinez go for free because we don't have enough space to
The
register.
financial thing, bro, is there still, man. Like as long as it's their
It's
money,
killing us. It's killing
we're
us.
not gonna be like we can try to compete for everything, but we're not gonna win all of them at the same time right now. Like I'm not going to be saying negative stuff, but I feel like we are not fully ready to win all of them yet. But we can win La Liga, Super Copa and Copa, and semi-final UCL. Because again, like you can still get all the money, but the problem is the restrictions are that is killing the team. So that's why we can't really build like a Flick Bayern squad, right? Because
Do,
again, because of the money
okay.
restriction.
First question, and then I want to go into the second. But first is, do you guys think that Barcelona they're gonna have to throw some competitions like to the
No,
wayside in order to compete?
no, I'm not dropping any competition. Like try to win as much as you can.
Trying to win as much as you can.
Because it's money, bro. Like even if you finish second, at least you get the money as well.
Yeah, because with the departure of Inigo Martinez, I'm looking at the comments. I don't think Kouarsi is best suited to that left center back role. You've seen Kouarsi play, and he hasn't been the Kouarsi from last season.
Yeah, he
Simple as
needs
that.
some experience with
He,
him.
he exactly he needs that, and it's completely understandable. He's 18. He's
Yeah,
18. Why are you gonna be having your leader in the back line
it's
be
an
an
18-year
18
old.
year old? No, that's it's ridiculous. No.
That's so wrong. Like you need to have
Yes.
someone to mentor him. Like yeah, you
Yes.
can play him every time, but you need someone to like mentor him at the
Uh
same
huh.
time.
And Sika, I want to go to you with this question because you touched upon it, but the high line, there's questions being brought up on it. I am still adamant that the High Line is the way to go. This
It is
team,
the way to go for me.
we've achieved the success of last season because we've had that High Line. It's
Uh-huh.
not teams have, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I don't think it's people have figured this team out, and that's why we can't have the High Line. It's that the energy isn't there in the press. If you're going to be having that high line, you need everyone to be pressing.
Yeah,
Everyone,
yeah,
everyone. You can't
for
be letting
sure.
the Sevilla players, play out from the back and have that. You can't have Robert Lewandowski, a 38-year-old Robert Lewandowski pressing like crazy.
It's
Without
crazy, man.
Rafinha,
Yeah,
without Fermin
but
Lopez, without Lamine Yamal, that press weakens, and
look,
so
Yeah,
that's why I think you see a lackluster high line at
and
times.
also
But
sorry to
I want to hear
interrupt
your
you.
look.
opinion about this.
On wait, on this point, I would say I totally agree with you. Highline is the way to go. But the problem is when we face again great competition. For example, PSG, their midfield is as good as, if not, I would say a little less technical than our midfield. So even if we face them high, they can beat our place. They beat our press. They have that individual quality midfielders like Vitinha. They can beat the press and then play the ball to their forwards and attack our highlight. That is that is possible. So in that cases, we have to score more goals than them. And if we come to La Liga, the matches against teams like Sevilla, we can play those highlights even if we don't have a little bit of pressure in the midfield. But in big
But you
matches,
need the players
we
for
are
that
anyhow
though.
going to suffer because of the highlight, because of the speed of the high quality wingers of high quality teams, and because of their less resistant midfield like PSGs.
You still need the players for that. Like to fully like go all in
We
and be
have to
superior.
play against big teams like we played against Newcastle, I would say. Instead of just forcing the highlight, we have to drop little bit. We have to adjust to the pace of their wingers and press resistance of their midfield.
Yeah, you're right.
If
You're
we
right.
cannot
It's
press
Flick.
them,
You're right with that, but again, it's Flick. He's not gonna change it. That's the thing though, because again, he's gonna live and die with it, with
but
that
don't you
style though.
think he changed it against you, Newcastle?
Huh? Sorry.
No,
Yeah, don't you? I agree with you, but
I
don't you
agree.
think he changed his philosophy? He adjusted against Newcastle, but he didn't do it against PSG. He thought
Yeah.
that the Mayulu and that other guy is not that good compared to Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and Doué. So he
Mm,
took the risk.
yeah.
Mm.
Guys, I'm looking at the timeline, and it's bad, but you know, I miss Inigo
I like
Martinez
it.
so
I like
much.
it. After, I
I
like
miss
it.
Inigo
I like
Martinez
the
so
timeline.
much.
I like the timeline. For entirety of the last year, I never saw the Barcelona of the old, Koeman era and Xavi
That
era. So
that's how bad.
I was missing
That's
that.
how bad it
Yeah,
is though.
I
Like
was missing
finance.
this. Yeah.
That's how bad the financial is. Like you can't even afford to pay a 3.5 million player in that
Yeah,
squad.
exactly. Alone, Barcelona struggling with that
No, like
and
not like
everything.
not like with Inigo Martinez. Like his salary, even though it's low, you can't even afford to pay him for that. Like that's how bad it is.
No.
Fucking hell,
Um.
we
man.
were
Like
we were so sad every week, under Koeman and sometimes under Xavi. Like this
Yeah.
now, it's a rare occurrence. So
Yeah.
it is also time for
yeah.
enjoyment. All these losses also.
Mm-hmm.
With Rooney, like he played good, but that's the reason why he's a bench player, right?
But guys,
Remember
also
that?
that
Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
also
I mean,
yeah,
yes.
also that was my point. Lewandowski got benched against PSG. He got a chance. He didn't step up.
Yeah,
Rooney got a chance because of injuries, didn't step up. Only player that
yeah,
stepped up from the bench is Rashford and Eric Garcia consistently.
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and
Even
also with
Casado didn't step up in many games.
I mean, it wasn't the right game for Casado either, anyways. But again, I feel like I mean for De Jong, it wasn't the right game for him as well. But because again, that when you saw the game, they're De Jong and Dede were just exhausted, man. At that point, like they're trying to like to hold the midfield as much as they can. But I feel like if De Jong came from the bench, it would have been a different game. Because again, Casado would have like stopped them by with the
Uh,
counters in the first half
without
at least.
Yeah, without the intensity of Fermin, Frenkie, and Pedri two of them cannot cover the entirety of the
Yeah,
midfield because
yeah. It's
other
just
team
the
is playing with three
They
midfielders
need
and four
rest.
midfielders.
yeah. They
It
just need
isn't
rest.
really possible, you know.
Cause again, they need rest. Again, same thing. You're overplaying them too much. Like say we don't even have the squad, like the fully squad
Yeah,
to play. They're just trying to they're just trying to fix and put a
yeah.
band-aid on
How
it
do you
though.
expect, this white
Bro.
midfielders like Sainty and Pedri to cover the ground like Caicedo and Kante? For two of them can't do it.
Yeah, yeah, we don't have that though. That's the thing though. It's so bad, but again, I feel like with Flick, I want him to try. I want him to try Jared Martin as a center back, bro. Because I feel like as decent as Jared
Yes,
Martin is,
yes.
as
But
decent
then,
as Jared Martin is
but
at
then
left
we
back,
don't have backup
that's the
for
thing
I
though. Yeah,
think Balde.
yeah. Like saying with Jared Martin, I feel like he's more built of a center back, bro. When you look at it, like he has a
But
vision.
do you really want to see the center back partnership of Kumarsi and Gerard Martin?
No,
No,
don't play him against the big clubs. But we should play him against
yeah.
the lower clubs to see if it works out.
No, no, I definitely want to see that. I want to see a J.R. Martin, Balde, Cuarci, and Jos Kunde partnership in the back, or even put Eric Garcia, in the right back because Garcia he's been playing phenomenal in these past couple of weeks and everything.
Or play
But
him left back if you can.
but I need that left-footed center back because I'm
Yeah,
sorry, Pau Cuarci at the left center back role is just not it. I'm sorry.
it's horrible, man.
He's just not it. He's just not
Yeah,
it. It's just not the position.
Yeah,
You're not
to be
getting the best out
honest,
of Cuarci.
yeah, he made a great pass to Rashford, but he couldn't finish it.
Yeah,
yeah. That's the
yeah,
thing, though. Yeah, it's
yeah.
sad, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a long season, but hopefully that they're able to figure out by El Clasico or Super Copa
Mm.
at least.
This international break is coming at the perfect time, and everything, and
Yeah,
If
watch Olmo
we,
cook right away in Spain. I'm telling you, right now, watch
yeah,
this
if
guy cook.
if
Watch
it
this
he needs
guy.
if
that. He
we
needs
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He needs that.
if we drop drop
Then he
points
comes back at
against,
Barcelona and struggles to frig you.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
watch, bro.
cannot drop points against in El Clasico because then they will be more than 5 points clear of on the top of the table.
Yeah, like it's gonna be like, bro, in order for Barca to have a chance to win at least La Liga this year, they have to start racking the wins, bro. Like I don't care if it's a beautiful football. I don't give a damn, bro. If you have to play fraud football sometimes, do it in order to get the win, bro. Because I don't care about beautiful football whatsoever at this point, bro. I need wins.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
This
it is what it is.
Hansi Flick football is more like heart attack football rather than beautiful football.
I mean, like that that was part of his resume when you hired him. That the height and will cost a lot of goals. We know that already. Well,
The problem
it is
is,
what it is.
even
It is what
Sevilla,
son.
Rayo Vallecano, Real Sociedad, all these teams they are easily beating our highline by making the runs out, deep from their midfield. So
No, I'm telling you,
if
bro.
these teams can do it, then other
Um,
will do it also.
you know what's easier, bro? Just don't stress out, bro. This year, but I'm done with getting stressed out, bro. Like fucking, bro. Life is too short, bro. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna worry. I
yeah,
ain't gonna worry about Barcelona.
I am, I, I am too.
They
That's
don't
why
know
I
me,
am
bro.
saying,
They don't know me in real life. What the
yeah,
fuck? Why do I need to worry about
yeah,
them, bro?
because last season I was so happy. I was like, I don't care that much what happens this season. I am taking everything as a bonus because of
Nah, bro.
because board also didn't back the manager, to be honest. So
Yeah, it's true.
everything we are getting from Hansi Flick is like a bonus. Last season
Yeah.
Yeah.
too, it was a bonus because he is literally working with academy kids and player from our academy. No backing
But
whatsoever.
I just want
Even
to.
Xavi got the backing. Xavi got Rafinha, Lewandowski, Kunde, all these players. Hansi Flick didn't get shit.
Yeah.
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 Even
It
after
Exactly.
is what it
providing
is.
results and beautiful football.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bro, I was done when we lost against Bayern Munich. But I was like, I don't give a damn anymore. At this point, I don't give a damn.
Oh, but all right, boys. It's been a tough defeat. I would definitely would
Based on
say.
day fresh.
Yeah, it's a tough
Shout
loss.
out
We'll
to
take it on the chin.
Yeah, shout out to Spanish Olmo back to back ass performances, and I am waiting
Shut
for
up.
Fermin to be back.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's a
I'm
rough
telling you, with
one.
Megan Rapinoe, boy, he needs to perform, bro. Like this guy, boy, he needs to
It's yeah, it's a rough one. But all right, boys, we'll be talking more about it, in the next upcoming videos. Thankfully,
Yeah,
we're going into the
Danny.
international break. We need it.
Yeah, after the PSG
Don't
match,
come back.
after the after the
Don't come back.
PSG match, Danny Olmo got abused in his comment section in Instagram. After this match, he is getting to get it too. I don't think he will post anything on Instagram today.
Yeah, no,
Oh
no,
yeah,
no
oh yeah,
shot.
but he's not posting anything, bro. Like
No,
fuck,
nothing,
yeah,
nothing,
well, he can't post anything to you.
nothing.
Wow.
But all right,
Oh my
boys,
god.
catch you guys on the next one.
All right.
Hopefully Barcelona bounce
Bye.
back after. Bye.